Hi Facebook, hello everyone, welcome to a live video on how to eventually be thankful for the shit things that happen in your life. This is a video that was spawned from something I had a chat with my friend about recently, a friend of mine, Chris Richards, talking about being thankful for stuff. And I'll be honest, I recognize that there's an interesting way this stuff can be put forward when we talk about being thankful for things, because if I'm honest, what it feels like is that there's a miscommunication with how that message is put forward, right? There's like this way it's been put forward, which is like, be thankful for the shit things happen in your life. And I said to Chris, the problem with that message is that there are moments in people's lives where you don't want to tell them that. That's the last thing you want to tell them. Don't fucking tell them that. Like, no. There will be a time when maybe that's okay, but not now. Don't do that now. Stop it. Shut up. Don't do it. and it's even difficult actually for me to say right now, oh, there will be a time when you'll be thankful for this, because it's fucking patronizing. And again, that's that shit that kind of just takes away all of the bullshit that person's going through at that time and goes, oh, it's not going to matter eventually, because it means that what they're going through right now doesn't matter. Of course it fucking matters because they're going through it. But what I wanted to do was actually celebrate my time in hospitality, because as some of you have recognized, I've very often been pretty negative about hospitality for a long time. What's up, Katarzyna? What's going on, girl? Hey, James, what's up, man? Aw, thanks, James, you. So I wanted to actually talk about the great things that happen in hospitality, because there are things in there that actually I should be thankful for and am thankful for. It's just, there is, and I'm not even going to lie about it, there's still some dregs of stuff that I'm carrying forward, but I'm working on to get me way out of all of that nonsense, right? Way away from it. But nonetheless, there are elements that I'm thankful for. And these are like the three top things. 3 top things to be thankful for. And I wanted to share these with you guys, because hopefully for those of you who are watching this, who have worked in the hospitality industry as well, should be able to share this element and not just see it and go, oh yeah, that's nice, but actually go, fucking yes, yeah, you know what? That is great. That is fucking great. I love that about this industry, okay? And they might be quite predictable, but nonetheless, I feel like they really should be stated, because perhaps right now they're understated, if that makes sense. You with me? Are you with me? Welcome to the room. Colin, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Good times, Ollie. Hey, buddy. So number one, and actually, I put a post up earlier today with 3 images, well, 4, but 3 really, that were kind of maybe a reflection of these 3 things I'm going to talk about right here. And we'll start with number one. Number one, I was at a bar with a bunch of guys, and they are a small selection of a truly magnificent group of people, a magnificently large group of people that I've got to know over, hey Tom, what's up, buddy? Over the last 14 years, right? Some I'm still in regular contact with now. Some I'll see every now and then and be like, dude. And some of them I don't hear from anymore, but miss nonetheless. And it is literally the people that you meet, the people. I mean, they're all of them, to some extent, are the reason that I'm doing this right now. And I'm not even exaggerating. There's no romanticized message going on here. It is literally the fact that there are people that I've met in that industry who, to me, are the most fucking beautiful thing that could have happened on this earth. And unfortunately, I know this sounds a bit mean, but unfortunately, they are not in a position where the beauty that they are is being celebrated enough. They've kind of suffocated themselves in this realm of taking orders from nonsense and having to do nonsense stuff. And so I want to say, like, I'm thankful for having been in that job, because it also is kind of an eye-opener as to how beautiful people can actually be. I mean, I've seen people be generous beyond their capabilities, beyond their kind of line of survival. I've seen people create bonds and friendships that really should kind of overthrow any kind of normality and stuff like that. You've seen relationships grow and like literally go on and become really strong things. In fact, there's someone who I'm very close friends with now that she went through something that honestly, if I wasn't there for, I wouldn't have her in my life, and that alone kind of makes me upset. But in that very moment that I was there, okay, I also learned something magical about myself that I really shouldn't forget. And it was a really wonderful lesson that I learned about myself that actually goes, do you know what, Dan? Good. I'm glad that that's how you responded in that moment. I'm fucking glad, because that tells you that when you are shut down, when you're switched off, when you're not really thinking about your actions and what you're doing, you step forward, you still do the right fucking thing. And so, yeah, like the people that I've met over the last 14 years, hands down, I'm so fucking glad I've met every single one of you. You, if you're watching this and I know you, fucking yeah, boy. Yeah. Mad love for you, absolutely, without, like, relentless. Yeah, I honestly, I can't like thank these people enough for being who they are, definitely. And I want to name people, but then there's so many, and that's not cool, so I can't. But I mean, I can think about people I've worked with who, for example, were having a bad shift, and they thought it would be a great idea to take a load of party balloons, blow them up, tie a string on them, and then just tie them to our little waist there and walk around with balloons for the shift, because it was there. Stay here, don't move, people, please stay there. And it was a managed decision to be like, you know, this shift's not going great, let's make it great, let's make it fucking great, and it did. And that's, I mean, this is stuff inside and outside of work. So again, those people as well, getting to know them, getting to understand them, they've taught me a lot about myself. They taught me a lot about the value of work, the value of people, the value of honesty, the value of friendships, etc., etc. And you know, that's where, you know, I've kind of grown myself. And so these people around me, and actually also, I'm not going to lie, there have also been people who've proven to me that if you might think that you have a bad job, you might think you have a shit job, but you can still be proud of the way you fucking do it. And I've had people who've taught me that as well. You can be proud of doing a job that you may not necessarily feel so proud of. You can do it with pride. You can have pride in it. You can do that. And so I've learned that as well. So again, just magical folk that I've met. So that was number one. Number two. And I will say, yes, this does include, of course, you, Tom. Come on. And I mean, Katarzyna, like you came in a little late. But hey, you know, all right, I'll extend this out to you as well. Sure, yeah, sure. Because you've been around for a little while now, and that's cool, man. It's great to stay in touch with you. It is also the amount of fun that you have on these shifts, you know, and it can be difficult. It can be tough. You know, I don't want to dig into that ditch of like, oh, it's a shit job, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it can be shit, but it also can be a hell of a lot of fun. And this doesn't even relate to necessarily what goes on shift. It can be, of course, outside the shift. I mean, remember when I started in this industry, man, it was party time. You have a great time with random people. You get to meet people real easy. You could probably start the day thinking, I'm just going to do a shift and come home. And then by the end of the day, you're somewhere you've never been before. And you're like, how the hell did I end up here? And it was simply through just living, like, you know, middle of the week, nothing's really happening. And something does happen out of nowhere. You're like, fuck it, I ain't got work tomorrow. Let's do it. Let's chill. Let's go and do something fun. That was always great. And actually, I think about some of the greater moments as well that took place. I mean, that was actually in this industry where I got to do a massive wine presentation. And I actually got to, I don't actually, it's weird because I did this thing. I don't actually know what the purpose was, but I believe I was actually presenting to shareholders, which is a bigger deal than I think I realized it was at the time. But I actually did a presentation to shareholders about the wine that we were serving in a restaurant I worked in. In that very same restaurant, I got to sit at the head of a table of about 17 middle-aged women and read a chapter of 50 Shades of Grey, which was just phenomenal stuff. I mean, we're talking about as well having fun serving young people. Gotta love serving them. I mean, the fun you have getting to know customers as well. Like, you have these regulars come in once a week, and they wouldn't have come in if you didn't have that first interaction with them. You're just having a great time. Like, oh, how are the dog races this week? You know, how things go that way. And again, it's just, sometimes there are times if you're doing that job right and you're in the right place, there are times when you forget you're getting paid, because you are just like, all I'm doing is enjoying myself right now, like getting to know people, talk to people, find out what's going on with you, making people smile, which, as some of you know, that's that's me, like right fucking there, right there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I like to do. So making people smile is everything. Hey, Lise, what's up, babe? And so the fun you have in that job, again, I got to look back and go, do you know what? If I and this might be unfair actually, and maybe this is a way I can kind of go. If you're trying to be thankful, or if you're at a stage where you're able to look back on stuff and go, you know, I'm less upset that shit has taken place in my life, then one thing I do like thinking is I actually worked in other jobs, right? So I worked in office environments and I worked in 9-to-5s, and I'll be honest, they were not as fun. They were just not as fun. They were just not as eccentric. They weren't as exciting. They weren't as, how can I say, like sporadic or unpredictable. They were not that. They were not me. They were not that element of me. And actually, you know, I'll say this now. This is great. I love this little bit about me. And I worked for a video games company, right, in their customer service department. And it was an online video games company. And they actually had this in place, and for those of you that know me, this is it. This is everything, okay? This is just it. They actually calculated, right, that for every person I sat next to, every time I sat next to a person for a day, that person's productivity would go down. The amount of work that person did in a day was less when they sat next to me. And I'll be honest, I have never not felt good about that. I've never gone, oh man, like, I'm such a shit. Like, I've literally just been like, great, that is great. That's so basically I have maybe been entertaining them for the whole day. I mean, obviously, I'm sure that's kind of gotten their tits because they've been like, dude, I'm trying to get work done here. Like, can you not? But all I remember is having a good time in that job. So clearly I was just being the office clown, if you like. But fuck it, I don't care. I was making their day more entertaining. Whoop. So that is that's it. And then actually someone recently spoke to me about this, and they were like, so basically, Dan, the reason that we like you so much is because you're disruptive. You're just disruptive. You don't really play along with the rules, and you remind us of us when we started out. And I was like, oh, thanks. And I thought, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Disruptive is really, yeah, that's kind of it. And the wonderful thing about hospitality, and again, recognizing why I'm so thankful for it, and getting to be more thankful for it, is the fact that I realized when I worked in other work environments, really the only environment that allowed me to be me was the restaurant environment. In all the jobs I had, the only environment genuinely, well, except for of course presenting, sorry, I shouldn't discredit that. You know, when I had my presenting jobs working for Gamerbase, working for Car Throttle, and doing some work down in Somerset as well, I was able to kind of be myself a little bit. But apart from that, it was restaurants and presenting. And now this, of course. But all the other jobs wouldn't let me do that. So the restaurant industry became this place where I could feel at home with myself, where I was basically getting paid to be me, where I could be me, and people were like, yes, I want to come back here more to see him be him. You know, like, in fact, the way I put it like that, I kind of want to, it makes me want to do another shift, you know? I'm actually like, shit, like, I wonder if people need a waiter right now. Like, I could go and do that again. But that was a wonderful experience for me because they let me do that. They let me do that, and that fucking felt amazing. It did. It felt so good to be acknowledged and accepted for that. And the third and final thing, now this one, we're talking about, hello to new people in the room, hello. Leave a comment, just let me know where you are. I'll just give you a shout, I'll be like, what's up? But we're talking about being thankful, right? And I'm just demonstrating how I've been thankful. I think this is definitely a more effective live video for those of you following. Hey, Lisa. There it is. Yes, Lisa, should be tomorrow, by the way. Okay? Tomorrow. And everyone's like, oh, what's he talking about? Oh, who's Lisa? She's like a celebrity or something. Oh my God. No. Lisa's actually an old work colleague of mine. So Lisa, you are one of those people. You're one of those people. Thank you for being you. This is about being thankful for old things. Now, this last one is an interesting one. And this was the picture I put up of the little tablet. Now, the little sign, the notice. I didn't actually work in a restaurant that did this. This was a restaurant down the road from where I live. And it's a buffet. And the reason I used that picture, because it was a picture that represented to me something I hold dearly to myself. And I don't know if it represents it well enough, but it's something that has an element of that. Is actually also disclaimer, sorry, I should just say, but I just want to make it clear when I say this, what I'm actually talking about. This might sound like a bad thing, which immediately everyone's going to be like, so that means it's a bad thing, Dan. No. It is a good thing. This is a good thing, of course, depending on your perspective of it. And I can see how there could also be negatives to this thing, but for me personally, as the kind of character that I am and the kind of person I am and the person I want to be all the time, this actually has been a wonderful thing for me. The hospitality industry and people who work in it do not accept things at face value. They don't. They generally will see, no matter how it's dressed up, no matter what costume it's in, what time of year it is, no matter what disguise it can put on, people will always see the bullshit. They will see it. They won't. Again, I'm not saying that this is just hospitality people. I'm just saying that this is something that I got working in hospitality. Right? I can see certain things, out in the world and go, no, I'm not accepting that. Now, even though I might be wrong, even though I might go, that's not correct, and someone goes, actually, it is correct. And I'm, okay, fair enough. But I won't accept it straight away. I will not. I don't know where this has come from. There might be an element of cynicism with people being perhaps obnoxious or perhaps a little bit. I know. Bear with me now. People being obnoxious. People being antagonistic. In the way that they might put themselves forward sometimes. And this will be, again, this is not just customers I'm talking about here. This could be, again, some work colleagues sometimes. You basically start to build up this understanding of when someone might be doing the bullshit. And so you start to pick up on it, which means that you don't get bullshitted. It means you don't get, messed around so much, which again is great. And the wonderful thing about that, and this is actually something that I want to kind of reach out right now to all my hospitality people right now. And I want to say the fact that I started doing this, it's beautiful. In the back of my head, I can actually hear there is a support. There is a definite, genuine support from people in hospitality. And, I love that. And there always is. There's that renowned support of people getting out of the industry, doing something else, and people going, yes, you escaped, well done, round of applause. Then, of course, people might stay in there, but genuinely grow and move forward, own their own business, become ambassadors of brands, and everyone's going, yes, well done, good, well done. But nonetheless, of course, I can hear this kind of jive, this kind of jabbing in the back going, don't bullshit me, Dan. I know you, okay? Don't think you can just be some overwhelmingly positive guy telling me everything's going to be fucking great and I'm the best thing that ever happened to myself and love myself and da-da-da, because I'm not taking that bullshit, okay? I want explanations. I want science. I don't want you to just tell me because I'm not going to fucking take it, all right, Dan? And that's great, because that's exactly how I want to move forward. I don't just want to take stuff and go, yes, that's it, that is universal, that's the truth. I want to be able to question it. And the beautiful thing is, I can feel the hospitality people, my old colleagues, my friends, everyone, they're going, don't accept it at face fucking value. Question it. Don't look for the bullshit, all right? Because when you find it, then you can sweep that away and you've got a clean slate to move forward with and work with. And I'm thinking of particular people right now in my head, not just one person or two, particular group of people who I actually genuinely, they pop up in my head and they go, I can hear them going, no. And I'm like, yes, I love you guys. I love you guys. So that would be it, really. it's recognizing, seeing the bullshit and being able to move forward that. Now, of course, the disclaimer was that, yes, that can sometimes be a bad thing. And of course, you have to manage that. You have to recognize when you're perhaps being a little bit resilient against stuff and when you need to allow things when you can't. But at least in this, no, Lisa, come on now. I ain't going to name names, man. This ain't the place all the time. So that was number 3, and again, it's something that I genuinely hold dear. I love it, and I'm a big fan of that sensation there. But this is it, see, and this is the stage I come to. Now, bear in mind, I quit restaurants 2 months ago. However, this new career began just over a year ago. Now, we're going into the area very quick. Before I finish off, we're going into the realms of talking about being thankful. Now, again, I'm going to say right now, very honestly, that if you're still going through a very difficult period right now, if you're still having a difficult time, and someone's saying I think someone's saying you'll be thankful for this one day, I want to say, you know what? It's fair that you probably want to feel like you want to punch them in the face. That's fair. Don't. But that's a fair feeling. But what that should tell you really is that the situation you're having difficulty with, it needs to be resolved. It needs to be sorted out, because what that means is you're unable to get the perspective of being outside of that situation to be able to reflect on it and go, yeah, you know, I will be grateful for this one day. Because I'll tell you now, there were times when I was working in hospitality and I was having a bad time and people were saying, you know, you're learning stuff, you're gaining skills. And there were times when I was like, yes, I am. That's very true. And then there were times when I was like, that is not helpful right now. That is not at all what I want to need. And when I look back at those moments when I was clearly in a matter of desperation, in a matter of, I really need to fucking move. I need to make some changes right fucking now, because this is pushing me to my limits. And that was actually even towards the end of that career. And someone did say, and I know they meant well, you know, they did mean well. And I love them for still being positive in that moment. But they did say, you know, oh, you'll learn something from this and be strong and da-da-da. And I was just like, So do be wary of those things. But I also say to people out there who want to be supportive and stuff, don't just tell people they're going to be thankful for shit, because you got to look at what situation they're in, really. You have to gain that emotional intelligence, that emotional awareness to be like, do you know what this person doesn't need right now is some perspective that everything's going to be fine, because maybe in their heads that is an impossible image to conjure up. So let's maybe, you know, be careful with that little thing there. So this would be a case of, when we're looking at how to be thankful, I think stage 1 really should be how fucking dare Facebook cut me off at a poignant moment in my live video. Mark Zuckerberg, get your shit together, son. Fucking, how dare you? Who are you? Anyway, so stage 1 should be, are you able to? Because if you're not, that's okay, but it does tell you that you've got to make movements. You've got to take action in terms of the situation you're in. You know, again, it would be a case of reaching out, talking to someone, trying to get that thing moving, because that does mean that it's really not, you know, not the best situation. Of course, if you are able to go, actually, yeah, this isn't bad, good, you know, and you can start kind of leaning on those moments where you can feel thankful for those things. But I will be careful, and I always would want to be careful with telling anyone that, because, yeah, it's just not, it's so counterproductive. It's just, you know, it's kind of like, oh, you're in a shit place, let's just push that down further. So, no. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this live video. Thank you for everyone who has watched. You can follow me over on my page. I'll put it up in the description. It's First Nature there. You can just, you know, click follow and, you know, join the fun, join the party. Some of you will know that I'm also looking to run an event in Reading, which will be coming up very shortly. There's a lot of good things happening, actually, that are coming up. So I'm emceeing at LoveX in Guildford at the moment, which will happen in 2 days. 2 days. So if you've got zero plans on Wednesday, the 10th of May, then you can come along and not just watch me MC, actually, but it'll be a beautiful event surrounding self-love. We got 6 beautiful speakers talking about self-love there, and that will be something else. I'm actually going to put that in the comments now. So I'm just going to type in love. I'm going up. There we go. Love X Guildford. Is it gonna come up? Are you gonna come up, or are you just gonna not come up? You're not gonna come up. Okay, fine. So that's gonna be there. I'm gonna leave that as a comment. It should pop up eventually. Brilliant. And then yes, there are other things, but there are other things that I can't talk about yet. But wonderful things happening in the future, and I really look forward to sharing all of that with you. And some of you actually will be hearing from me very shortly directly. I will say here, if you do have any goals that you're planning to reach, if it is to do with wanting to be more honest, wanting to be happier, wanting to be a better person, if it is trying to get out of your job, trying to find time for yourself, any of these goals, and you're just having a little bit of difficulty managing that, get in touch with me. All right, get in touch with me. I'm right here. My hand is open, ready to take yours and carry you. Oh, wait, this way. Carry you on to your personal betterment. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a wonderful evening and a wonderful week. Always a pleasure. Thank you for everyone who's been part of this live video. Peace out. Mwah! Deuces, baby.